just got rich overnight. He threw 1,000 diamond in her own face. He just got rich overnight. He poured several bills into his own mouth. The poor couple became nouveau riche. That's not very classy. It's not a day and night dance. It's a giggle with a cramp in their mouth. Wealth must have a price. They both don't know anything. This is a slightly shocking story of sudden wealth, but not a comedy. Gentlemen, please wait and see. Just yesterday, the woman didn't even know she was going to be rich. She lived with her husband in a big house in the suburbs. The house is said to have been in circulation for more than 10 years. Prices are getting lower and lower, but no one bought it until her husband caught a glimpse of her, ran out of his savings and bought it. They live in the house, and it's all over the place. The wallpaper was ripped open, but after the wallpaper was torn off, they found a secret house, heavy iron doors, steel locks of the cross. It's like a prison for criminals. There's a strange key in the trash, just enough to unlock it. But when two people opened the secret house, it was dark. Switches, windows, debris. There's nothing. Until they saw the basement of the house. They were really disgusted. The place is covered with thick electric wires, like the devil's stomach, estimated by direction. All the wires are connected to the secret house. They couldn't understand and called the electrician to see. The man was surprised. 2. That this is not something the world will have. And then he ran, though they fear in their hearts. But the house they bought always had to live. That night, the man was drunk, went into the secret room to rest. Right after he drank, he said to himself, Finish the sentence. The light slowly dimmed. When it lights up again, wait for the man to recover. He found the bottle of new wine on the floor, exactly like the one he drank. It won't take long. He found out the secret of the secret house. This is a dream room. Whatever you say what you want. You can get it. The man told his wife about the function of the room. She felt very intimidating at first, but not long after. She was also a great temptation to occupy the mind. They churned out tons of cash, turned out 1,000 diamonds, turned out to be the best, the most expensive caviar, the most luxurious clothes, getting drunk every day, and turned it into a ballroom. And so, no one knows how many days have passed. The drunken orgy is at an end. Be tired and tired after sober up. The woman looked at the mess. There was nothing left in her mind. When emptiness sweeps the mind, the dust-laden pain will begin to remember. The woman remembered the greatest pain of her life. She once miscarried 2 children. Hear this. You should know what she's up to. On the other hand, the man is also depressed by a few days of partying. Conveniently took a few bills to go out beguilement. But this is the way out. To find out the terrible truth, when he had to pay someone, he fished out the bills he had brought from his home pocket. It's all turned to ashes. He suddenly came to himself, driving all the way home. Rush upstairs, pick up all the bills on the floor, spill it. Sure enough, they all turned to ashes. To pull out the Van Gogh self-portrait of him, put it outside the house, the line of the gate. It's all right on the inside. The outside part has turned to dust. This is the gift of the wish room. And also the ancestral curse of wish room. All the gifts you asked for can only be enjoyed in this house. You go out there and it's gone. And that's when the man suddenly saw the wife is taking a baby with her. He was terrified. Ask her whose it is. Wife says, it is to change with desire room. The man was angry on the spot. He dare not tell the truth. He had to fight with her for no reason. Repressed to the point of madness, and started smashing up the dream room, chiseling all over the house. And then he saw that every wall, behind every floor, the wires are thick and thick. Jesus, what the hell is this place? And that's when his wife held the baby and asked to leave. The man wanted to stop it, but it occurred to him, let's end it like this, so they don't have to suffer forever. So he let his wife go out, forced her way out of the house. The baby was crying horribly. His face turned red in a flash. The woman screamed with fear. The man finally disobeyed his conscience, rushed out and grabbed the baby from his wife's arms. You see, the boy's feet. It's getting bigger. Wait till they get back inside. They were all in shock. Naked baby a few minutes ago. He is now 5 or 6 years old. The woman finally learned the truth. Anything that comes out of the wish room can't even get out of the house. Otherwise, it will speed up the existence process by a factor of tens of millions. Turn to ashes in an instant. What does this mean? They're children, for the rest of his life in this house. Son's awake, staring at mom and dad. He had no idea that he had been sentenced to life imprisonment. Face the lovely and poor child. Women make up their minds. Be twice as good to him from now on. The man began to investigate the history of the wish room. He didn't know until he looked it up online. This house is a monster house. In 1975, a couple was killed inside the house. The killer was also caught red-handed in the house. The weird thing is, the killer is a man without an identity. No names, no fingerprints, not related to the couple. He's not in any of that database. No one in the neighborhood had ever seen his face. The paper says he's been locked up in a mental hospital. The man decided to go and talk to him. To the mental hospital. The nurse told him, 45 years. You were the first to visit him. Soon an old man appeared. It doesn't look like a psychopath. Looking at the man, the old man smiled eerily and said, I've been waiting a long time for you. You live in my house. The man was uneasy. How could he know? But the rhetorical question, why did you kill someone? The old man did not answer him. He started asking how he felt about the wish room. The man was upset. Where is the time to talk about desire? Suddenly, however, the old man became very serious. Give a man a warning. Get out of that house and never go back. How could he leave? His wife has stopped going out. Stay home every day and educate their son. May the room make the best toy in the world. Feed their children the best food in the world. But it's not enough to satisfy a child's natural needs. He wants to go out, but every time the kid mentioned going out, mom's got to be dirty. The child began to stare out of the window day and night. The nature of the child, or human nature, it's what you can't get. One day he almost ran out of the house, but he was dragged back by his mother. The woman used a board that day, sealed off all the windows. Children who can't go out are becoming more and more depressed, started running around the house. At last he found the room of desire. After a while, the couple went into the dream room to look for their children. They were all in shock. The child has created a world. There's trees, there's sky, there are snowflakes, and children are making snowmen. The heroine's first reaction was to rejoice. Because of this, the children are free to play. The hero is inexplicably furious. Arrest the baby, throw it back in the house, lock the wish room. Neither mother nor son knew why he was so angry. It's the magic of fear. Or is it jealousy? Because he calls himself an artist. Not even close to the imagination of a child? The woman had a big fight with him. Suddenly the phone rang. The child reached for it, waiting for a man to grab the phone, only to find out it was the man who killed the last owner. The man laughed with pleasure. You turned out to be kids. He unkindly told the truth to the Lord. If you want the baby to get out of this house, there's only one way. That's killing the one who made the wish. And then the man understood. The man on the other end of the line. And a child from the wish room. So he killed his own parents to get out of this house. All this was overheard by the women. She couldn't bear to drive away for a moment. She was gonna kill herself, but she didn't have the guts. When she left home, the man looked at the child and became more and more angry, fidgeting. He vented. The truth of the child's history was told to him. It finally shattered the child's worldview. To see a poor child, the man is soft again, apologized to him, played with the child for a while, waiting for the woman to return, saw the father and son sleeping together. She laughed with relief. Maybe a family of 3 could live like this. Of course it's not that good. One night a few days later, the little boy gambled with the couple in. A boy of 5 or 6 would be affected by something like this. Wait till the couple falls asleep. He stole the key from dad's trouser pocket. What does he want? The next day the couple woke up. They were shocked to find out the baby's changed. Overnight, 5 or 6 years old, into a young man in his 20s. He turned his face in a frenzy.
Look, Mommy. I'm big now.
Burns to the body. It means he ran out the door alone. He raised a gun, aimed at the man. Let me explain something to you. Why did the little boy do it? He grew up unable to go out, and it made him feel so repressed. There was little joy in his life. All that's left is his mother's love for him. And dad wasn't very nice to him. After watching dad make out with mom, the little boy developed an Oedipus complex. That is, Oedipus and patricide. The woman came up to her son. The man took the opportunity to rush up and grab the pistol. The father and son wrestled together. The woman hit her head in the confusion, passed out, waiting for a woman to wake up. Her husband was beside her. He said he threw his son out, has aged to ashes and died. Women run out of the house looking for them. She can't find her son's ashes. She was devastated. Her husband had been comforting her and carried her back. Doesn't seem to be hurting at all. Not long after, the woman found out. The husband is very strange. He eats like a fish out of water, wolfed down like a little boy. What's even weirder is, the woman is still in grief. Her husband suddenly hugged her. Wanna make out. She finally figured it out. This man is not her husband. It's the son. The woman pushed him away and run, but he still got caught by his son. In the meantime, real people wake up from their homes, found out his wife was missing. Must have been taken into the room of desire. He rushed into the room of desire. In the world his son created, finally found a building with his family. The exact same house. He broke the door and ran in. Heard the sound of the broken glass. The little boy had to let go of the woman first. To deal with men, the woman came out of the room alone. Then she saw her husband. Tell her to go with him. But then there's a second husband. Tell her to go with him. The husband behind her began to call her by her nickname. That must be true. The fake husband took her and ran. The heroine is in a hurry. Shout out the name of the little boy. Wait for the son to turn back. The woman pushed him down the stairs, knocked him out. The couple ran away, but the little boy woke up. Making a wish turns the house into an infinite loop. It's like a ghost hitting a wall. At this time, the hero suddenly thought of a way. When the little boy finds the couple, he lifted a knife out of its shape in dad's belly. When dad's dead, he held his mother in his arms. But then he looked up. Outside the door, another man was pulling the woman away. Turns out they made a wish and made another pair of themselves. Let them be a shield. Cover their own escape. The couple were running through the woods. Finally escaped from the wish room. Back to the real house. Come to the gate again. The little boy ran after there. It's the same scene. Or run at a man with a knife. The difference is, this time the man opened the door. Keep his son on track. Ran out of the house with him. The little boy realized something was wrong and wanted to go back. But the woman has locked the door. The son was screaming outside the door. Women can only cover their ears with pain. Watching her son grow old. From youth to middle age, and then the old man. He realized at last that he could not live. Turn around and leave. Toward the real world he yearned for. The woman comes out, watching her son fall to the ground. It's turning into a pile of ashes. Wish room. Looks like omnipotent. It's actually got everyone locked up in a cage. The woman is trapped in a doting cage. The man in a helpless cage. And the little boy was trapped in the house. Will never be free. A month later, the couple moved out of the house. Live a life of poverty. They'll be safe away from the dream room. It's the best thing that ever happened. And that's when the hostess found out that she was pregnant. There is no surprise. Just panic. Is her baby going to be born? Does she dare to have a child? Is her baby real or fake? And is she still in the dream room? In other people's eyes, it's a carton of